Okay, so today is September 9th. This is Renee's colony. It's 5:45 in the evening, about the time you would see a bunch of sick bees. It is day 8 on the second strip of Formic, and that means a total of so far 18 days. And the second strip comes out in 2 more days, making it a total of 20 days of Formic with 1 strip each cycle. This is the sick bees that I have. When I first started this, I had about probably a couple dozen sick bees, if not more. Oop, there's a hornet flying around. It's definitely less. I mean, from what I can see, maybe a dozen. So maybe to start with, I had a few dozen. It's definitely a lot. Like, it was a lot taking up this entire space all over the place. And now it's maybe a dozen. They're around. They're still getting sick. You can still see them pooping on the slate. Still not doing great. That one right there looks like she is dying. That one in the center of my screen. Yeah, that's some death stuff right there. The rest of them just seem like they're sort of, again, crawling around. Just doing sick bee stuff. But it's definitely a lot less. Definitely a lot less than when we started. So I think it did make a positive impact. Though obviously they're still sick bees, so they're not cured yet. And we're reaching the point now where they should be outbrooding the sick bees at this point. So it takes 21 days to make a worker bee. We're on day 18 of the second single strip of Formic. Look at all that feces on the leg. Ugh, so gross. I gotta clean this off. And so we're at the point now where we should be outbreeding these sick ladies. So and we're running out of time to know for sure if we'll be able to make a significant impact to actually help them get through winter. So I guess we'll just see what happens with Renee and hope that it works out for the best. Today, good morning, is September 11th, 2025. It's kind of a heavy day. It is 72 degrees. The humidity is feeling a little high today. It's actually not too bad, it's sitting at 73. Could be worse. So if I'm not super cheery, you'll have to excuse me. Today I think is a heavy day for a lot of people. September 11th. Well, due to recent events in the last couple of days, not been great. And also, the history that we have with September 11th. And everyone knows where they were. But today is also my sister's heavenly anniversary. So that's also what's going on in my brain. And I don't know how people feel about, the people who watch my channel feel about God, but I feel very strongly about God. I have convictions, and this is my channel, and I'll pray for you. And I'm not saying that in a condescending way. But I will pray for us all. Anyways, that's where my brain is sitting. We are going into only Renee today because I have looked at Miss Lee, Sharon, Carol, and Mimi, and the front of them all look relatively well. I see pollen going in and out. I'm looking at them right now, and they're super busy. bees are in the air doing their thing. It's a nice, beautiful day. It is very cloudy, and it did rain yesterday, but the ground is still wet. But they're still out and about. They're still working ladies. Renee is the one we're concerned about. So she is the one who's been sick. She's not named after my sister, who today is her heavenly anniversary. My sister Renee is spelled R-E-N-E. This Renee over here is spelled R-E-N-E-E, named after a coworker from my dad who named all of my colonies. And she's been sick. She's been having sick bees outside her colony. Wasn't sure if any of them were recovering and sort of crawling up the leg. Sometimes it kind of looked like it. There's a lot of feces on that particular leg nearest the door. I think what was mostly happening and why there probably wasn't a lot of bees on the ground the following morning is likely because they were getting picked off. We have European hornets and they're hawking the colonies, but they'll go up to the other colonies and there's guard bees, and they're finding it harder to pick off some of the bees at their door. So what they'll do is they'll go over to Renee's hive, who has a bunch of sick bees on the ground. Easy pickings. They just pick one up, fly off with it. So it's about that time of year that they'll be doing that and getting ready to, the queens will be hibernating themselves until spring. So as many as you can catch, the better, because that means that's one less European hornet colony that will be started next year. So that is the plan. I really need to come out here and clean these hives. Like they're either gross from feces, like especially Renee's, or they're gross because, just weed whacking and like debris and stuff, is mud flown up on the hive bodies. It's gross. I know it's just aesthetic, but I don't know. I'm a girl. I like that stuff. So in the following day, today's the last day. I know I kind of deviated here. Today's the last day today's day 10 of the second strip of Formic. So she has completed her full treatment of Formic. We did one strip for 10 days, a second strip for 10 days, and I have noticed that the longer that went on, the less sick bees were in the evening. So I would come out every evening around somewhere between like 4:30 and 6:30 in that space of time, average probably around 5:30. And I would check out to see how many sick bees were, on the slates in front of the door. And I will say it did decrease over time. Excuse me. Last night, I came out around 6 o'clock and looked, and there was one sick bee. So do I think those sick bees recovered? I don't think they did. I think they were picked off. But what I do think is that the Formic has created an environment where we killed all the mites, and if it was a trachea mite issue, it either killed or decreased the trachea mite issue to the point where they are recovering just fine, and all the new brood is coming out and is clean and healthy. So tomorrow will be 21 days. It takes 21 days for a worker bee to be made. So tomorrow will be like the official out brooding day. You know what I mean? Like, so as many orientation flights that are happening, I like to call them graduation parties, because they look so happy when they come out and do their orientations in like one big group when it's a beautiful day. It's a graduation party. They're graduating from house bees to foraging. So when you get that, I think we're starting to see more healthy bees come out, and they're out brooding it. So they were less affected by mites as we kind of went on with the treatment. And that's a great thing. And going forward now, we should see them absolutely thriving. That's our hope. I don't have any wood, but that's our hope. So we are just gonna go into Renee, check out her frames, take out the Formic, check out the frames, see how healthy they look after the 21 days. We're gonna actually look at it and see how healthy they actually look. And then, we'll be good to go. That's basically, also I wanna check the trays for Sharon just to make sure they didn't chew off the propolis and undo the hole that I stopped up with propolis. So let's get on that. See, I remember one morning we came out and there was sick bees. There's so many sick bees. There were sick bees in the grass. You know what I mean? And I don't see any of that. I'm really thankful. Guard bees are doing what they're doing. Love it. Knocked my bucket over. Alright, knock knock, we're coming in. We're gonna check you out. How you do? How you be? Alright. No ladies over here. Just kidding. There's one lady trying to do mortuary duties. Bye! Old trays have small hive beetles in them. They're doing the job. I am lifting this up with the cover board. Sorry, ladies. There is one small hive beetle. If you move, ladies, I'll smash it. There we go. They look good so far. Let's see if I pull this. Do I break any beetle jails? I don't see any beetles. Oh, live, I see one. But that's it. Wow, look at them managing those small hive beetles. Love that. Oh my goodness, look at you ladies spreading out. Look at you guys. Got a couple of gray bees in here. Love that. And you see the difference between like the bees as far as gray bees go. Here is one that you would consider a gray bee. And you can see the difference between her and her sister there. One's got more of the amber color, and she's got the like darker colors. Beautiful. So there's a couple of those ladies in here. This should be honey, and it is dry. It is dry. This actually might have been one of the feed frames I gave to them back a while ago. Yeah, I think it is. And they are cleaning it out. Wow. I don't know if you can tell, but most of this side is gone. And you can see that they have uncapped it and just completely emptied it. And they're not filling it back up again. Totally uncapped it, totally ate the whole thing. The other side still has some capping on it, but they're working on that too. What are you lady working on? Okay. You can see it actually feels very light too. You see that? Still some cappings on it, but they're eating that up. So what I might do, start feeding these ladies. We'll see what other resources they have. Notice it might be time to start feeding. About 2 weeks ago, we went into the other colonies, and they were doing really good. We did mite checks. It was a Con Ed group. Well, UPS is here, and we did mite checks. And the mite checks came out great. So this is a frame that they are not building on. It looks like they have a little bit built, but they've basically stopped. This is it. They're on it. I'll let them keep it for a while. Maybe if I start feeding them, they might build out a little bit more, but I have a feeling this is one of those frames I'm probably going to take back. I believe October. I have to look back at my notes and see like when I start taking frames that just aren't filled out, that aren't, you know, being that useful to the bees anymore. You don't want to leave half built out, empty-ish, partially empty frames in your colony. That would be a no-no. Excuse me, ladies. Okay, I see some liquid stuff right here. I think it's from the Formic. I was like, wait, what is that? I hope they're not still sick and pooping inside the hive. That wouldn't be good at all. I saw this liquid stuff here. But then if you kind of look underneath the frame, that's where the Formic strip is. So hopefully that's what that is. Melting Formic. Thank you. Thanks. Alright, here is another food frame. Should be filled with honey, and then it isn't. It's also very dry, very light. They are uncapping it and they are eating. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. These divots. I'm not sure what that is from. But yeah, this is a very dry frame. Kind of concerning now. I kind of am feeling like maybe I actually will go check out some of my other colonies and see how they're doing as far as food. They still should be getting some spotter and lanternfly honeydew. Excuse me, lady. Yes, you're a good guard bead. But if they aren't, then, see, I forgot to finish that story. We did mite checks, but we also checked out the food, and they seemed pretty good. And I was told that probably don't need to start feeding them until October. But maybe I should check their resources. Maybe they're eating it. Maybe they're just not getting as much food as from honeydew as I thought they would be. Yeah, that's actually, you know what? I thought this was liquid. It's propolis. Wow, yeah, look at all these bees. Look at all these ladies. There's a lot of ladies here. Let's see if they're moving the resources. Maybe they're moving them. Wouldn't really be excited about that either. But we'll see. This one is half drawn out frame. I don't remember what this one looked like previously. Like I said, they're not doing a ton of building right now. That's old comb. So that's not anything new. They are putting, or there's some nectar in it. A little bit of nectar, a little bit of pollen, but not much. This side they've completely drained. You can tell where there was pollen or nectar in, say, this spot and right here. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. It's darker. It looks like it's been used, but they've since drained it. It's not there anymore. Okay, so maybe I do need to start feeding these ladies. Now I'm concerned about my other colonies. Thought I wasn't gonna have to start feeding till October, but that might not be the case. But the ladies do look super healthy. Love that. I don't see any deformed wing. There's a couple of ladies walking around with like what you would call arc wing, but once they get bumped by another bee, they tuck them back in. So I don't know if that's just like, hey, you just disturbed me. Let me get my wings ready, or if that's what they're doing. All right, we got to figure out how to get the Formic up. They have propolized it. All right. See if we can unpropolize that. Nice and gooey. go. It's very sticky. Extremely, extremely sticky. I'm saying that these ladies are looking good. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I know. This lady's fanning. She's not happy with me messing around with stuff. This one has a little bit of weight to it, but not by much. Cells are oh no, okay, just kidding. I was gonna say they're polished and empty, but I do see some milk brood in here. Not eggs. Hold on. It's a really weird laying pattern. Let me catch the sun a little bit. We got a queen cup. I don't think it's charged. It's just a cup. We've got a lot of polished cells. They're empty, right? They're empty, but then you've got a smattering, just like a couple of here and there smatterings of milk brood. So that's the part I am confused about. Unless there's eggs and I truly just cannot see them. Let me make sure my queen's not on here and I'll rack it and then I'll see if I can use a flashlight. I don't see my queen. Because otherwise that's a really weird, like why would she lay a couple of eggs and then not continue to lay on that frame, you know, with all those polished cells? That's very strange. Do I see her on the frame next door? No, but I do see capped brood. It looks like an emerging frame though. Let me see if I can use a flashlight to see inside of these cells. And it's like the middle of the frame and then she just left. And it's maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it's maybe like 15 to 20 like cells in the middle of the frame, and then the rest of it's just totally empty. It's kind of strange. I'll show you what that looks like, Dad. Alright, so you can see all these cells are empty and polished, but then you kind of go over here. Where is it? Where are they? There, right here. Got some milk brood in there. A couple cells with milk brood. Can you see the bottom of the cells? Just a few. But everywhere else, although it's like right here, everywhere else though is polished and empty. And it looks much the same on the other side. I'm not loving that. Not loving that at all. And I don't see eggs. Let's keep going. Turn off my flashlight. Let's keep going. We'll see what's going on over here. There's a lot of ladies. Oh gosh, I got propolis all over this thing. We do have some cross combing here at the top. Hi. She buzzed me. It's like when they do that, it feels like an electric shock, but I'm wearing gloves, so I don't think she was stinging. It's just like buzz. Hey, your hand's too close. I don't like it. All right, this is an emerging frame. We've got some older capped brood on here. I see newbies. Queen cup that's not charged. There's my queen. She's in here. She's walking around. Now, if that were the case, I should see some eggs. Am I right? You're on the frame. This is also an emerging brood on the side. So I'm trying to block the smoke. Trying to block the smoke. Let's see if I can rest this frame right here in case she decides to crawl over. She can crawl back into the hive. Okay. I'm looking for eggs. She's on this frame, so I should see eggs, right? You would think. You would think. Let's look for some eggs. Maybe I can do this together with you, Dad. There's my queen. She's pausing. She's got her retinue around her, taking care of her, cleaning her. Look at that. That's a beautiful. If I had a camera, if I had my camera out here, that would be a gorgeous shot. Alright, let's look for eggs. With the light from my camera. Don't see any eggs there. See some older larvae. She's here. Is she laying? That's the strap from my phone. I see an egg. There's an egg down there. Can you see, excuse me, lady. Oh my goodness. Down the cell that they, yeah, there's one right there. Yeah, I see some. Off to the side a little bit instead of being dead center, but they're there. They're there. Look at her. I'm just gonna try and see if I can take a photo of her because she's just chilling. Hold on. Let me wrap my this around my this. Every once in a while she stops, she gets a perfect retinue all the way around her. And look, there's a new bee in there too. Looking right beautiful. Alright, so there is some eggs in here, which I love. What I don't love is that they are eating all the resources. They're eating all their food. We got some capped brood over here. We should see some freshly capped. This is also an emerging frame over here. Did she take a break? What's up with that? Sorry, I smoked and she's like, nah, I don't like it. It's okay. You're okay. Let me cover you guys back up. Goodness gracious, that is some decent propolis right there. This is an emerging frame. She's not, oh, okay, I see eggs in the bottom of this one. Yeah, I see eggs. I'm starting to get kind of concerned that she wasn't kind of as enthusiastically going back and you know, filling up cells with eggs. I'm just curious where their newly capped brood is at this point, because she should have been laying eggs for the last 20 days. You know? Where is their newly... I see a lot of young larvae. There was a couple of older larvae, but not much. This is some older larvae mixed with an emerging brood. Same on this side. Yeah, I just don't see a lot of newly capped brood here. What does that tell you? Did she take a brood break herself? Let me think about this. 21 days. 21 days, so 21 days now, you would see a lot of emerging brood. But regardless, you should still see some newly capped brood. Yeah. Like a cycle. Some of these are getting capped. Let me see. That's about right. Sorry, I'm doing the math in my head. I'm a little slow on that, you know what I'm saying? 21 days, emerging brood, and she's going back and backfilling. That's about right. There were some older larvae, so they're getting capped as of right now. So no break. Okay, all right. Yeah, that makes sense. That's about right then. Excuse me. Got a couple ladies doing trophallaxis. And I'm interrupting them. Alright, last frame. I don't really care about the other end. Yep, emerging brood. We still have some bald brood going on. Yeah, there's still some bald brood. Yep, because that one's got a head. So it's not chew down. That pupae's got a head inside the cell. Lots of pollen. Lots and lots of pollen. This is another emerging brood frame. And she has gone back and filled these with more brood. Okay, okay. I feel a little bit better. Look at that lady with the bright yellow pollen. Woo! Alright, what I will say is, you know what? Hold on. So this one didn't have a strip on it, right? This one didn't have a strip on it, yet they still had indentations where the strip was when they budded up, and this frame looks totally normal. The other frame, I can see the indentation from the strip. Alright, I lied. Not last frame. Oh, I feel bad. All the ladies are coming and they're like, wait, where's the frames I'm supposed to be putting this pollen in? Sorry, ladies. I'm moving your house around just a little bit. Just a smidge. A smidgy. I kind of want to, you know what? What I'll do is I'll look at, I want to say they're building out the cells. They don't look. Alright. So far, what I'm saying is the ladies look healthy. Queen Mama is in here doing her thing, laying up. Maybe she just, I don't know what she was doing with that one frame. I don't know. She's coming back to it, I guess. I don't know. She wanted to save it for later. I don't know. That's not normal. But what I've learned is bees do some weird stuff sometimes. We read the textbooks. They don't read the textbooks. They do whatever they're gonna do. Yeah, let me see. This one's got indentations. Excuse me, ladies. There's a queen cup. Not charged. The cells still look old, so maybe they're not building it up quite. They're not quite building up, but I think if they had a flow, they would. I think they would. Now, they've got some nectar and honey resources on some of the frames, the sides of the frames, you know? But the fact that they're eating whole frames of food, and yeah. Alright, let's put this back together again. This one's not really built on at all. The second one is not really built at all. It'll probably be one of those ones that I remove for winter. Alright. Smoker is wafting right up in my face here. Excuse me, ladies. I'm putting your house back together again, okay? Alright, so yeah, consensus is, I think they're doing well. It's a little weird with that one frame. I wouldn't say that's a great brooding setup going on there. But, she's in here, she's laying up eggs. Maybe she'll come back to it. I'm gonna close these ladies up and call it a day. I'm going to take out this propolis here. And not use this. I'm not gonna save this propolis. Normally I like to save propolis. And this is decently made propolis too, which I'm kind of sad about, that I'm gonna toss it. But being that it was surrounding the Formic, I don't really want to use it. Again, not that Formic's bad, but I wouldn't use it for products and stuff. Formic is natural. Oops, sorry. I slid this frame and they weren't ready for it yet. And it's approved to be in the colonies. When you have honey supers on, so it's not it won't taint your honey or anything like that. There we go. But I would rather not use it for, you know, if I ever end up making like tinctures and stuff like that. I want to be very aware of the items that I use if I ever end up making tinctures and things of that nature. Alright, I see my queen. She's still on the same frame. She's dead center. Actually, I think she just finished laying it. Yep! She just finished laying an egg. And there's a lady who is vigorously cleaning her. She's on her back and she's just like going ham. Love that. Alright, let me close them up. Put my queen back where she should be. I do it quickly so she stays in the middle of the frame and I don't squish her or anything. They're starting to get a little bit annoyed at me. I can tell the sound of them has gone up. There's a lot more ladies doing some flying. Oops. Sorry, this got stuck in my hand. A lot more ladies doing some flying, and they're doing their Naznov lands and heading over to the other frames. Let me show you what that means. What that looks like. I got more ladies like checking me out in my face. So you'll see them. I know you're looking at this upside down, but you're seeing them run from this side to the other. And they're a little loud. Let's see if I can stick my mic in there. There's another small hive beetle. I don't know if you were able to pick that up with my mic. I tried to stick my veil inside of the hive, but I don't know if that worked so well. and I probably need to start feeding them. So I will be working on that lately. Okay, so we are all done with Renee. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of concerned with, oh, look at this sweet lady. She's got her pollen baskets. There we go. Yeah, you gotta go back to the front door. A little concerned, but I think it's gonna be fine. I don't love that they don't have a lot of food. So what I think I'm gonna do is, where I wasn't gonna go into Sharon, I think I am gonna go into Sharon. I wanna check if she's eating all of her resources. They're a pretty strong colony. So let's go see how much food that they are eating. You're in the wrong area, lady. Anyways, I'm out here feeding the ladies. We'll see if they figure out where they're supposed to go. It's just a few days after the inspection that I noticed that all of their feed frames are drying up. They need some food. So what I did was I decided on a 1-to-1. I decided on 1-to-1 instead of 2-to-1, even though we are entering the fall time area. I think it's more important that this colony, Renee, work on brooding up. They need to be brooding up. 2-to-1 is really good for winter storage. It's easier for them to dry out faster. 1-to-1 is good for brooding up. And that's basically what I'd like this colony to be able to do before getting into those months that we really do need to start worrying about winter storage. So I took the top off. I took this little plug off and stuck this on. They immediately came up, but it looks like they've kind of lost interest. That's so funny. I mean, I'm curious how long it'll take them to figure out, hey, there's food up here. Let's go check that out. I'm wondering if we'll witness that. If they possibly might. As soon as I came into the hive, I had one really angry bee. Just one lady. She was like not happy with me. What are you doing? All up in my face. What are you doing? What are you doing up here? Look, the other lady went down. And now we're left with 2. Will they go up? Also, I did add a little bit of Hive Alive liquid to the 1-to-1. Not so much for a booster as much as just a preservative so that the sugar water doesn't get moldy. So I didn't use it to its actual dosage. I just added like a drop so that hopefully it preserves it a little bit longer. The other lady's going down. Wow, they just don't care. They're like, nah, no thanks. This one seems to be taking a rest now. Oh, there she goes. Will she go back down or will she go up? She's going back down. Oh, we have another brave lady. Nope, she went back down. So they're just hanging out. They're just hanging out down there. I don't know, can you see them? I can't see through the veil. Oh, we got one lady. She's coming up. And she's going back down. No, they came up with the hubbub of me coming up here and being like, making a disturbance in the hive. But then after that, they don't care. We'll check on them tomorrow. See if maybe they have actually moved up and gotten some of the 1-to-1. It is the next day after putting this food in Renee's colony. Oh my gosh, they have absolutely sucked it dry. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's gone. These ladies are hungry girls. These are hungry, hungry girls. Mama's gonna have to make a way more sugar syrup for them. Oh, in the meantime, it's kind of a rainy day, so these ladies need to get inside. You can't stay here, little pollen pants lady. Thanks, bye. Let me close them up. All right, back out here just a couple minutes later. Gonna top these ladies off. I'll pour it slowly so the ladies at the bottom can get a chance to kind of go up and not get stuck in the liquid. They should be able to adjust pretty well, going up and getting out. And if they do get stuck, then other ladies can sort of clean them off. All right, that's it. That's all I have. I'm gonna have to make some more sugar water. That was almost 1 gallon, a gallon of 1-to-1 sugar water with just a couple drops of Hive Alive liquid in it. But man, they really love that stuff. They were eating it up. Look at you, lady. It's raining. Miss Pollen Pants. Time to go. Time to go. I know, she's tired. She flew all that way. She's tired. But anyways, Dad, that's what's going on with Renee.